Ned Fulmer's journey from internet sensation to resilient survivor is a testament to the unyielding human spirit, one that has quietly unfolded behind the scenes even as his public persona lit up screens worldwide. For over a decade, the former Try Guys member has been grappling with multiple sclerosis, MS, a relentless autoimmune condition that attacks the central nervous system, disrupting the signals that control everything from movement to sensation. His recent decision to share this deeply personal battle marks a turning point, not just for Fulmer himself, but for countless others who find solace in stories of quiet endurance. At 38, with 2 young sons and a life forever altered, Fulmer's candor is both a release and a rallying cry, inviting conversations that demystify chronic illness and celebrate the power of vulnerability. The onset of Fulmer's MS was as insidious as it was abrupt, a stark reminder of how health can shift in an instant. It began innocuously enough in 2013 with subtle signs, a persistent numbness and tingling in his hands that gradually crept upward, invading his arms, chest, and back like an unwelcome shadow. For someone as physically active as Fulmer, accustomed to running, playing sports, and the high-energy antics of YouTube stardom, this was more than inconvenient, it was disorienting. Able-bodied and full of vigor one moment, he found himself confronting a body that no longer obeyed. The diagnosis hit like a thunderclap, forcing him to confront a future shrouded in uncertainty. It was completely overwhelming and sudden, he recounted, his words carrying the weight of that initial shock. What followed was a whirlwind of medical interventions and emotional reckoning. After the initial diagnosis, Fulmer's doctor advised a follow-up if symptoms escalated, a precaution that proved prescient. Mere days later he awoke to a terrifying reality. His legs lacked the strength to stand or walk, a betrayal by his own body that left him reeling. An urgent MRI revealed the disease's aggressive spread, painting a picture of progression that demanded immediate action. Yet, in the midst of this chaos, Fulmer's response was one of proactive determination. He dove headfirst into treatment, starting with high-dose steroid injections and a plasma exchange, grueling procedures that, while pretty extreme, proved remarkably effective in quelling the flare-up in his legs. These weren't gentle remedies, they were lifelines pulling him back from the brink and restoring a semblance of normalcy. Transitioning to a more sustainable regimen, Fulmer now relies on oral medication taken twice daily, a routine he describes as much more tolerable than the invasive injections of those early days. This shift hasn't erased the disease. MS is, by nature, unpredictable and progressive, but it has held it at bay, allowing him to enter remission. A quiet victory, remission for Fulmer means managing the subtle remnants, a persistent dullness in his hands and forearms that lingers like a faint echo. He's learned to coexist with it, tuning it out amid the demands of fatherhood and daily life. Triggers like extreme temperatures, alcohol, or stress can amplify the sensations, turning a whisper into a shout, but for the most part it's background noise, one he only notices when he pauses to listen. This adaptation speaks volumes about Fulmer's character, resilient, pragmatic, and unflinchingly honest. In a heartfelt YouTube video, he challenged himself to walk until the symptoms resurfaced, turning vulnerability into a visual narrative that educates and empathizes. "I just kind of learned to ignore it," he shared, his tone matter-of-fact yet laced with the hard-won wisdom of experience. The video isn't a pity party, it's a provocation, urging viewers to confront their own invisible battles. For Fulmer, openness is the antidote to isolation. "I'm trying to be more open with my MS, to start conversations," he explained, emphasizing his gratitude for remission and the platform to share it. In doing so, he's not just baring his soul, he's building bridges to a community often sidelined by stigma. To understand Fulmer's story, one must zoom out to the broader tapestry of his life. As a co-founder of the Try Guys, he helped pioneer a new era of relatable male content, cooking fails, fashion experiments, and heartfelt challenges that humanized masculinity for millions. The group's meteoric rise from BuzzFeed interns to independent powerhouses was fueled by Fulmer's affable on-screen presence, his engineering background adding a quirky precision to the chaos. But beneath the laughs lay personal storms, including the 2022 scandal involving an affair that led to his departure from the group. That chapter, painful and public, tested his mettle, yet here he is, emerging with even greater authenticity.